Hello YouTubers, I was debating whether to do a video on this or whether to do a proper review, so I'm just doing thoughts on watching. So, last night, on Halloween of all nights, I finally decided to watch Hazbin Hotel. So, for those who don't know, and I certainly didn't know until I saw a few reviews of some other YouTubers come out on this is an animated pilot for a adult animated TV show, possibly if it gets picked up. Maybe, don't know. I don't know full details on things, but yeah, it's made by. If we just have a look in the credits, Vizzy Pop, and she is someone I am not familiar with and I've never ever heard of. So yeah, this is going well, but hey, there's a good bit to this. I thoroughly loved this pilot. I really did love it, and it was something, something interesting, a bit new and fresh. So the basis of it is that Hazbin Hotel is basically a hotel in hell that is supposed to rehabilitate people who have sinned, which is basically everyone in hell. And it's run by Satan's daughter. And you know what? That is an interesting premise. Because to be honest, thank you notifications for popping in right then. To be honest, when I heard the premise initially, I thought, oh, is it going to be similar to Hotel Transylvania? And no, it's not. I do love the fact that since this isn't a YouTube Originals thing or anything like that, this was basically backed by people on was it Patreon or was it GoFundMe or something? So basically, they had the freedom to do whatever the fuck they wanted, which meant that they could push boundaries in this quite a bit, to be honest. Not as far as other things I've seen, but yeah, right off the bat, you can tell that this is really pushing it. And the animation is great in this. It is really good, to be honest. I mean, if you were to show this to someone, and say, oh, look at this, they probably wouldn't be able to tell that it was just a YouTube animated video. This is definitely TV show worthy in terms of its animation, and also it's half an hour long. Yeah, I know, normally if any YouTube creators do a pilot, it's normally, 7 to 10-ish minutes, maybe 15, where this is a full half an hour. Yeah, and I mean half an hour, because if you're American, your TV shows are not half an hour long, if it says half an hour, because you're getting about 10 minutes of advertisements. This is actually half an hour. There is 30 minutes of content here. So yeah, and I do quite like the style of it. To be honest, it has those really dark tones to it. Everything seems to be some shade of red and pink colours, basically. Everything is a shade of red or purples. All basically dark, hellish colours to it. But it still remains vibrant as well at the same time. I don't really want to spoil this, but I'll just say easily my favourite character in this is Angel. And he is the first person that you see in this, and yeah, within one line of dialogue, I was sold. I was sold. And if you've watched this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, he is easily the best thing in this, and also gets the best line. For example, the character who is on the left on the thumbnail for this, what was his name? The Radio Devil? Demon? Yeah, the Radio Demon asks Angel, what can you do? And Angel replies with, I can suck your dick. fucking best line in any cartoon ever. Fucking best line right there. Sold. Oh dear me. But yeah, is there anything I didn't like about this? To be honest, the one thing I'd say, I was thinking, because this is why I've delayed making this video, because I was thinking, is there any actual criticisms I could say about this, because it was thoroughly enjoyable, without going into too many details, because you really should go watch this. I want this to get as much support as possible. Obviously, I'm not going to make a difference on that, but whatever. Every little helps, as Tesco says. But the one thing I'd say about that is you don't get much of a feel on what the show's formula is going to be and how a typical episode would mostly play out. And what I mean by this is this entire pilot is basically just setting up everything. It's basically 100% set up, and the whole thing is literally introduce a character, introduce a character, introduce a character, introduce another character, introduce the hotel, introduce this, introduce that. For example, I have no idea how, if any of the demons who go to the Hazbin hotel are supposed to be rehabilitated. I have no idea how that's supposed to work, how any of it is supposed to work, and what the show would actually be like from this pilot. I do know what all the characters are like, and there are an awful lot of characters that are introduced in this, but although you do get a strong vibe of their personalities and what they gonna be like, you don't really know what the show is gonna be like. You know how the characters would react to each situation, and that is really good. It's really good as a character piece. But in terms of the story itself in the episode, there's not a lot there other than setting everything up, to be honest. It feels like it's one of those TV shows, if it was a TV show, it would need this plus a second episode. I think it should, be if this was a TV show, maybe a 2-part opening, because this does a perfect job of setting everything up. Introducing every single character, and giving them screen time. Although there are a couple of characters in here, well, more than a couple, who barely get any screen time whatsoever, though you do get a good feel of what they're like. It is barely anything. So yeah, again, I can't really complain much about this. I mean, basically, it squeezes every second in this pilot, to really try and get every character that they can in there and explore their personalities and get a sort of vibe of what this world is like. But if you were to ask me, what is it about? Well, all I can say is it's about a hotel that is trying to rehabilitate people, although you never see any of that in the actual episode. So, yeah. But yeah, go watch it. The only thing I'm slightly worried about, though, is that if this did get picked up for a TV show, depending on who picked it up, I would be worried about it being heavily toned down and heavily censored. And that is, something I am thoroughly against. I don't believe in censorship whatsoever. Especially if it's, made for adults, it shouldn't be censored whatsoever. So yeah, I wouldn't want certain networks out there to pick this up. I was thinking maybe it would work best because, if Netflix picked it up, but with the way Netflix has been going, they've been cancelling a lot of their TV shows as of recent, so it seems unlikely that they would pick this up. So the only other people, I think the best, other than Netflix, the best people really who would give the show a good chance is probably Adult Swim. Would probably be the best people to pick this show up. But as of yet, I have no idea what's happening with X, but the video is doing really well, so, hopefully some network executive out there will see it and pick this up, because I want more of this. And if it does get me in a TV show and it's the same, quality as this, then also release it on Blu-ray. Because I said so. Because I demand it. Okay? Because if you don't release this, and it doesn't get picked up for a TV show, then I will not be happy. Okay? Okay. So yeah, I really like this one. Yay!